Greeting to all. Imagine a world where the power of artificial intelligence isn't confined to Silicon Valley skyscrapers or Beijing tech hubs, but is accessible to a startup in Colombo, a classroom in Nairobi, or a hospital in Quito. Today we stand at the threshold of that reality. DeepSeek R1 isn't merely another AI model. It's a tectonic shift in global innovation, democratizing access to technology that redefines possibilities for every nation, regardless of size or wealth. Next slide. DeepSeek R1 versus OpenAI, redefining efficiency. Let's begin with what matters. Impact per dollar. DeepSeek R1 matches OpenAI's GPT-R1 encoding, mathematics and reasoning, but at a fraction of the cost. While Western models burn billions, DeepSeek achieved this for under $6 million. How? By reimagining efficiency. Fewer GPUs, less energy, smarter algorithms. This isn't just cost cutting, it's engineering brilliance. But the real revolution? Accessibility. Unlike closed systems locked behind subscriptions, DeepSeek is open source, MIT licensed, and runs offline. Imagine ChatGPT's power, but downloadable like Wikipedia, operable on a laptop in a rural classroom. This isn't just progress. It's empowerment. Next slide. The geopolitical paradigm shift, AI beyond the US-China rivalry. Now, the unspoken tension, the US-China AI rivalry. America's edge lies in private sector innovation and cutting-edge chips. China counters with state-backed scale and relentless R&D. DeepSeek R1 disrupts this stalemate. By bypassing US chip restrictions through efficiency and homegrown hardware, China isn't just closing the gap, it's challenging the playbook. More recently, Alibaba, big Chinese online trading company, has announced their Qwen 2.5 Max and claims it is superior to DeepSeek R1 model. We can expect more competition that will be beneficial to the whole world. Meanwhile, the US bets on projects like Stargate, a $500 billion gamble to build AI infrastructure. But while superpowers race, DeepSeek's open source model offers a third path, a blueprint for nations to harness AI without dependence on either camp. Next slide. Empowering the underdogs, smaller nations, and local innovation. Here's where it gets personal. For countries like Sri Lanka, AI was once a distant dream. Training a model like GPT-4 costs more than Sri Lanka's entire education budget. But DeepSeek changes everything. For the price of a mid-sized tech project, Sri Lanka can now deploy AI to optimize agriculture, streamline healthcare, or personalize education, all hosted locally, ensuring data sovereignty. Picture this. A farmer in Anuradhapura queries DeepSeek offline to optimize rice yields. A developer in Colombo builds a Sinhala chatbot without paying licensing fees. A nurse in Ghana uses AI to triage patients faster. This isn't science fiction. It's the promise of open source AI turning constraints into catalysts. Next slide. The path forward. Unity over rivalry. Open source transparency versus black box secrecy. Let's be clear, this isn't a zero-sum game. DeepSeek's transparency, its code open for inspection, contrasts with the black box secrecy of closed models, building trust through accountability. Its efficiency debunks the myth that only the wealthiest can innovate. But with great power comes great responsibility. Tools like DeepSeek, while transformative, also pose risks. Advanced, low-cost AI lowers the barrier for malicious actors. enabling cyberattacks, deepfakes, and automated disinformation at scale. An open source model, if ungoverned, could be weaponized to erode privacy, exploit vulnerabilities, or destabilize institutions. Next slide, guardrails and governance. To nations like Sri Lanka, I urge, invest in your people, not just tools. Train coders, but also ethicists. Forge partnerships across borders. The risks posed by AI demand proactive, collaborative governance. First, robust national policies must mandate ethical AI development, ensuring transparency, data privacy, and accountability. Second, international cooperation is non-negotiable. No single nation can regulate AI alone. We need global frameworks to monitor misuse, share threat intelligence, and harmonize standards. Third, let's treat AI as a global public good, balancing innovation with safeguards. Let's build coalitions where engineers in Nairobi, policymakers in Brussels, and farmers in Ecuador co-create guardrails against cyber threats and bias. Next slide. Conclusion. For Sri Lanka, the US-China AI rivalry is a double-edged sword. While competition lowers barriers to advanced technologies and creates investment opportunities, unchecked dependency on foreign systems risks eroding sovereignty and deepening inequality. By prioritizing local innovation, ethical governance, and strategic neutrality, Sri Lanka can harness AI as a tool for inclusive development, rather than becoming collateral in a great power contest. The key lies in transforming geopolitical rivalry into a catalyst for homegrown progress. For the world, this competition could yield a rising tide of innovation, but only if balanced with guardrails to prevent fragmentation and misuse. The next frontier will hinge on who masters general AI, AGI, while harmonizing ethics, security, and global cooperation. In 1989, Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web and declared its universality is essential. DeepSeek embodies that spirit for AI. Whether you're in San Francisco, Shenzhen, or Sri Lanka, the message is clear. The future belongs not to those with the most resources, but to those who reimagine how resources are used. Yes, the ground beneath us is shifting, but as we harness this seismic wave, let's do so with eyes wide open, celebrating AI's potential while vigilantly guarding against its perils. Together, let's ensure this revolution doesn't just disrupt, it elevates a future where AI isn't a frontier for the few, but a foundation for all. Next slide. Online information. Links, online resources used for this presentation are listed on the slide. Next slide. Closing thought. Let's ensure this revolution doesn't just disrupt, it elevates. Thank you.